I had a bit of clash with my parents was that I don't think you should do this. I don't think this is the best for you. Yada yada. You should just wait. My dad was messaging me every 30 minutes. How are you now? Have you guys boarded? Are you on the plane? Have you landed? That day I was like, I know that my daddy's mind was not really touching. Hi everyone, Comfort here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're a returning subscriber, I love you. Thank you so much. So today, on this month, we're doing this series on family. As a family-oriented person, I grew up with family, with parents, so I think I have a thing or two that I would like to share. For this video, from the thumbnail and from the title, you must have already known what to talk about. And I know everyone is going to be like, okay, what does she have to say? A lot of people have been in this situation where you're torn between doing what your parents want and what you actually want for yourself. In my own case, here's what happened. A little backstory. I went to a medical college. I did med tech. After my induction, I had it all planned that I was going to go back to uni to do my BMMS, right? So when I graduated, then I started working immediately, like almost 2 years down the line. While I was working, I was still applying to go back to school. So it was, in that moment for me, it was something like, yes, I had a plan to go back to uni to do my BMLS, but then I was still working. So I was working while applying to do my BMLS. Almost 2 years down the line, right? The admission wasn't forthcoming for me to go back to uni to do my BMLS. Bear in mind, because I had the plan to go back to uni, I limited myself to applying to certain companies, to certain jobs, just because I felt that, oh, you'll go back to school, there's no need to apply to those top companies because then you would have to leave at some point. So I didn't bother applying, I didn't bother, exploring more jobs. I just limited myself to where I was. When I saw that reality was setting in and then I needed to do something for myself, I made a decision that after that 2 years, if this admission is not forthcoming, I'm going to apply to other jobs. I'm going to explore other options. I'm not just going to limit myself to where I am. So then I started applying. Prior to getting to 2 years, I started applying. And to my amazement, in less than 2-3 months of applying, I got an offer. Now, this was where my issue started. I had a bit of clash with my parents. They, at that moment, didn't think that, taking those offers was something that was best for me. They were like, oh, I don't think you should do this. I don't think this is the best for you. Yada yada. You should just wait. You're still going back to school. Let me just explain how the offer came. Now, when the offer came, it required that I was going to go for a 3-month training in Lagos. I don't have family there. I don't know anybody there. So if you have African Nigerian parents, you would understand where I'm coming from. So it was something really new and different for them. So they're like, no, we just can't let this girl leave this place to go to Lagos all by herself because she's going for a job training. And I was really persistent. So the company that gave me that offer had booked my flights. The date that I was going to leave was already set. But then I was in between going with what my parents were saying and going with what I wanted. This point wasn't really easy for me. We had a few arguments, I had a few of, these people don't understand me, these people don't want me to explore. Long and short of the story is that eventually they let me go. I went, I did my 3 months training and then I came back. But before we got to that moment, I had to sit down and talk to myself and understand it from their own POV. That they don't mean harm for me, they want the best for me and they're also looking out for me. I also had to, speak with my other siblings so that they could talk to them to help see reasons why I needed to take that offer. I said all this story to state that most of the times, some of the reason why we think our parents may not agree with our decision is because, number one, our parents want safety and stability for their children. Because most of them, They grew up in a survival mode, grew up in fear with anxiety, not knowing so much of what the future holds. They have that feeling or that knowledge already that this was my experience growing up. So it is almost common or almost normal. That's the case where we see parents choosing career paths for their children just because they want safety. Another reason is fear of the unknown. We're in a digital age right now where a lot of things has changed, but it's different compared to the time of our parents. They did not have so much access to the things that we have now. So it is, assimilating and accepting change may not come easy for them because they didn't grow up like that. Imagine coming to your parents to say, "Oh, daddy, I don't want to be a doctor again. I want to be a content creator." And they are going to be like,
"What is content creation?
Is that even a career?" But reality made us open rather to a lot of options that our parents did not have. They only know what worked for them during their time. All they know during their time is if you must be successful, at least you should go to school, right? Some of them did not even have the opportunity to be educated. Some of them got educated even while they were giving birth to children. That is the kind of life they had. So fear of the unknown is part of the reason why it is now your duty as someone who is more exposed to understand with them and then explain to them some of the reasons why you have to do these things. Then also another reason is they equate obedience with success. So they are like,
"No, I said you should do nursing. Why do you think you want to be, into tech? It is nursing you must do."
And the idea they have is this child, if you must be successful, you must obey your parents. They just feel that if they say something, that is what you should do. I'm not saying we should dishonor our parents. There's going to be a point where, you guys have to agree. You guys have to understand. But it should not be that you're going totally against what you desire for yourself or where you're seeing God leading you just because your parents think otherwise. Now, here's the thing. Even though I was so sure, I couldn't have been able to convince my parents out of uncertainty. For example, if I was coming to say, "I'm not even sure, I just want to try." You're already coming with failure. There's no way your parents would be certain that this decision is what we should allow our child to. You have to come to a place of certainty within yourself. Be sure of the decision you want to take before you throw it to your parents. I had already done a lot of background search and I was certain about that offer. Not everything you're going to do is actually going to succeed, but then it should come with some level of certainty that even when it fails, at least your parents understand that it was not your fault. My dad was messaging me every 30 minutes. "How are you now? Have you guys boarded? Are you on the plane? Have you landed?" That day I was like, I know that my daddy's mind was not really church. He needed to be sure that his daughter got to Lagos safe. And then guess what? When I landed in Lagos and then I texted him, "I'm in Lagos." When my daddy called me, you know what he said?
"Lagos girl."
It was so funny to me because I'm like, really? Lagos girl? The Lagos you did not want me to go, I've now turned to Lagos girl, but yeah. The reason why I'm sharing this story is because if I was not determined or certain on taking that path, I wouldn't have taken that job. This leaves me to say that don't let your parents limit you. Don't let their fears limit you. However, always do it in honor and respect. Understand that these are two people from two different generations. And to be honest now, when I make certain decisions, my parents have little to no worries about some of the decisions I make. Of course, they still give me godly counsel, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. But they have a certain confidence in the decisions I make for my life and even, family-related decisions. Just because they know that, we're certain that this girl, if you make this decision, we're sure about it. So you must, like I said, let me still buttress, you must be certain. if you want your parents to be on your side. And that's the end of this video. Let me know in the comments if you've been in this situation before. I'm interested. Let me know in the comments. And what did you think about my own experience? Did you think that it played out well? What did you think? Let's talk in the comments. I can't wait to respond. Until next time, Comfort signing out.